that, you know, they were definitely using different fuels for different purposes. So very quickly about Kammer and Shikarpur, the situation is similar, okay? People were exploiting mostly the vegetation that was growing around the site, but they were also collecting and exploiting wood from far away, so exotic species, probably from Maharashtra or from the border from Saurashtra, okay? So a similar way of exploiting the natural environment, similar way of exploiting fuel. So lots of alternative fuel used in all the context and differential fuel use in the same context. The picture at the bottom is a big kiln that was discovered in one section of the site of Kammer. And the excavator were not sure at the time of excavation what this kiln might have been used for. It was not a pottery kiln. There wasn't much material around it to actually interpret its use. And I've studied the fuel or the sediment coming from the fuel chamber and also from this little cylinder that it's inside. And outside, it was just wood. Inside, it was just crop processing leftovers. And that reminded me of the way that modern bead makers produce carnelian beads. They just fire them. It was the picture I showed you at the beginning of the small pot filled with ash and little beads. So that's how they fire carnelian bead today. They just fill in a small container with crop processing leftovers, put the beads inside, put fire on, build a small wall outside the pot, fill that with wood and twigs and everything, get fire to everything, and when the fire is off, the beads are made. So that kind of reminded me of that process. Alamgirpur is a completely different situation. The most abundant plant remains is a monocotyledon, something like sugarcane or reed, or, you know, not a tree, not wood. And that's definitely the most common fuel that they were using. And apart from ash accumulation on the sites have only wood, and it's only one species. And that's a species that it's caper. It's a species that recover well after fires, okay? And so that might have come to the site because of the type, because of a natural fire, or because of the type of agricultural practices that were carried on around the site. That's still to be cleared up. But again, as you see in the bottom, Alamgirpur, the use of differential fuel in Alamgirpur is still quite common. There are piles of dung cake built up on top of the site, around the site. The villagers, it's really like, it looks like an industrial production of dung cake. So again, quite a continuity. As I was saying, you know, all these four sites have actually very similar way of exploiting the natural environment, the natural resources for what wood is concerned. So they use what they have available around the site in terms of wood, but they also collect woods from far away. There are no big change during this period, except for small signs of overexploitation or of preference of species adapted to a little bit more water. The use of alternative fuel is very important, and I mean, a little bit work is needed to understand chronological change. And on that note, I just want to briefly introduce the latest results of the charcoal analysis that are from the site of Lauteshwa in Gujarat. This is a very small site that's occupied both during the Mesolithic and the Chalcolithic period, so we can see a little bit the change in use. And again, there's no major change. I mean, there are small variations, but all in all, the vegetation does not change enough to mean a big change in the environment. And again, especially, you know, if you see during the Chalcolithic and the Mesolithic, there is, as I said, there is small change, but they're not significant. They're not very drastic. And the analysis of the charcoal made us possible to actually understand something more about the site, which is that what we term Mesolithic 1, which is the contact between Mesolithic and Chalcolithic, was probably a mixed deposit, because the charcoal assemblage is the same, and it actually clusters, when you do some statistical analysis, it clusters together with the Chalcolithic. And also, it made it possible to understand that the use of pits, so Lauteshwa has no structures, no architecture, it has just big, huge pits. And you know, we try to understand what was the purpose of these pits, and by looking just at the charcoal, because that's what I'm talking about, we could see that one pit related more to the use of the occupational floor, and the other pit was mostly like a dumping site of several activities all mixed together. So again, what I really want to stress is that looking at fuel can actually give us so much information on the environment and the social use of a site, and also on the site formation. So it's something that sometimes is overlooked and not considered that much important. Okay, archaeologists just recover charcoal and they say, you know, that's it, charcoal. But actually, if you do a proper analysis of this material, it can give a lot of information on many different issues of the past. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Assalamu alaikum. So, at first, I have to say Bahut Shukriya to Department of Culture, Tourism, and Antiquities Government of Sindh. And thank you so much to all of you for kindly arranging of this special conference. So it's a great honor for me to participate in this fantastic conference. So I, young Japanese scholar, don't have any power, but really hope that, would like to contribute to South Asian archaeology and heritage every day. Okay. So in this presentation, I'm talking about chronological change and continuity of seal carving techniques, Indus seal carving techniques, from the early Harappan to the Harappan period in the Gakkal Basin. So Gakkal Basin, as you know, is situated at Haryana region, India. So I think after lunch, Professor Dr. Sindh is talking about this region. So I'm talking about chronological change. Like this, from early Harappan to mature Harappan period, like this. So I'm focusing on only steatite Indus seals because everyone loves Indus seals. So needless to say, me too. Yeah. Okay. Again, so my main topic, main aim of this presentation is here to discuss chronological change and the continuity of seal carving techniques from the early Harappan to the mature Harappan period in the Gakkal Basin. There is an important previous study about chronological change of seals by Dr. Kenoya and Dr. Meadow. My PhD thesis also, but my PhD thesis is not good. So actually, very important studies is Kenoya and Meadow studies. Okay, Gakkal Basin is here. And I use 3 Gakkal Basin sites in this presentation. One is Kunar, and Banawari, and Farmana. So because I have data of seals from these 3 sites. Actually, there is one important previous studies. So there is no detailed study about the chronological change and continuity. So I focused on these studies. Okay, now, so we have to take the result of Harappan excavation into considerations for discussing about the chronological change and continuity of the seal carving techniques from the early Harappan to Harappan period. So as you know, so Harappan period 3A seals are characterizing by the seals from Harappa period 2 are characterized by geometrical motif. Next, so Harappa period 3A seals, so characterized by right-facing animal, not left-facing animal. Harappa period 3B and 3C seals are characterized by left-facing animal, not right-facing animal. Please remember this. This is important. Actually, so based on this Harappan chronology, so now we can discuss about chronological change of the seals, so in other regions also. So according to Harappan chronology, so I can manage the sequence of seal from the Gakkal Basin, so like this. So Kunar seal having geometrical motifs corresponding to Harappa period 2. And the seals having right-facing animal motif, so from Banawari and Farmana, corresponding to Harappa period 3A, sorry, yeah. And next, so the seal having a left-facing animal, so from Banawari and Farmana, these are corresponding to Harappa period 3B and 3C. Okay, based on this sequence, I'm talking about chronological sequence and continuity of seal carving techniques in the Gakkal Basin. So again, so the seals discussed in this presentation are Kunar seals and Banawari and Farmana seal having right-facing animal, and Banawari and Farmana seals having left-facing animal. So research method is very simple. So actually, at first, I made silicon replica of seals, and then I observed silicon replica of seals by SEM and make same image, and made 3D image based on same silicon replicas. Yeah, actually, based on SEM images, so we can get good information about manufacturing techniques of the seal carving techniques. So like this. So we can understand how to carve seals based on these images. And next, so based on 3D images, so we can get data about depths and shapes of the carving. So SEM and 3D images show various evidence of carving techniques of the seals. So like this. So now, so how can I say? So based on these data, so we can discuss about chronological change and continuity of seal carving techniques from the early Harappan to the mature Harappan period in the Gakkal Basin. So next, I'm talking about representative carving techniques in order from the early Harappan to mature Harappan period. So, and then I will compare seal carving techniques of each period to discuss about chronological change and continuity. Okay, now so I'm talking about canal seals. So in this presentation, I focus on carving process for making body part of animal depicted on the surface. This part. So based on SEM images and SM images, it presumes that the body part is first carved roughly and then finalized by the tin, bronze, or copper, or stone tools to make the base even. So as a result of these carving and forming process, the section of the body is shown in the scarlet shape. That part. Okay, next, I'm talking about the carving process for making straight lines. So you can see, so fine horizontal marks are observed at the side of the carving marks. So according to the marks, so it is presumed that the straight line are basically carved by the back and forth stroke by using the tin bronze tools. Okay, next, so I'm talking about the earliest type of the Indus seals. So next also, I focused on the body part. So carving process for making body part of animal depicted on the surface. So this part. The section of the body in this period is characterized by scarlet section, same to canal seals. Like this, scarlet section. And speaking about straight lines, so the features of carving marks are very similar with canal seals. Okay, next I'm talking about typical Indus seals, so corresponding to Harappa period 3B and 3C. So carving process for making body part of animal depicted on the surface. Like this. The section of the body in this period is characterized by, how can I say, concave section, not the Scottish one. Or like this. So another one is also concave section, not the Scottish one. Okay, next, so I'm talking about making straight lines. So in this period also, fine horizontal mark observed at the side of the carving marks. So the feature of carving marks are very similar with canal seals and the earliest type of Harappan seals. So through same and 3D images, it has become evident that the seals from the early Harappan to the mature Harappan period in the Gakkal Basin are characterized in various carving techniques. Okay, now, so we can discuss about chronological change and the seal carving techniques in the Gakkal Basin based on these data. Okay, now I focus on the shape of the body, so because we can trace the chronological change. This is canal seals, early Harappan seals. Body section is Scottish one. So next is the earliest type of Indus seals.